Yeah, my first month I hit 35 sales,
Yeah.
and it was a little bit over 1,000 Australian dollars, and I was really pleased with that, man. Like
Yeah.
I come from just a standard working background, mainly like manufacturing and factory work, and I was in the military when I was young. But about 5 or 6 years ago, I was kind of fed up with all that. Now, this I didn't know really anything about e-com as such.
Yeah.
I knew like bits and pieces. I knew I just wanted a job that I can do from kind of remotely. And I read Tim Ferriss's book, The 4 Hour Work Week. Have you heard
Yes.
of
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. I read it. That was like one of the first books I read.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Same with me, man.
On business. Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah. So it was one of I read that, and I was just like, I'm just going to kind of give this a crack. And I just started thinking of ideas. I wasn't really around Amazon and any of that, so
Yeah.
I kind of came up with this idea. I was into fitness and sports supplements and things, so I created a little and hemp, hemp like plant-based
Yeah.
protein
Yeah.
powder.
Yeah.
So just as I was kind of thinking about this, I was reading into like plant-based protein powders, and hemp just got approved for legalization. So I'm like, I had a little bit of money from just back in my old army days.
Yep.
So I'm like, I'm going to create a hemp supplement brand, and I just fucking went for it, man. I just went for it. I
Yeah.
used some like graphic designers and things from Fiverr, and I used virtual assistant. I kind of went that whole Tim Ferriss route,
Yeah.
and it went all right. It went pretty good. It went for about 5 years, and I ended up selling it just as COVID started kicking in,
Gotcha.
because unluckily I kind of chose the wrong route. I had the option of going hard with the online selling or focusing more on stores to resell my product.
Yes.
And I went down the store route because it was just kind of expansive like that.
Yeah.
And when COVID came, all the stores shut down, man. So I lost
Yeah.
about 75% of my income, and I had a massive fitness expo coming up that shut down, and I just had to weigh up the money. It was taking a lot of my time, and it was taking a fair bit of money, and I would have had to invest a lot of new capital to bump this back up.
Yeah, for sure.
So I just basically, to cut a long story short, I sold it. I probably lost a bit on what I've put into what I got, but I learned a lot, and I done everything myself, man. Like, so I learned invaluable skills, all the ABN, things what people freak out about, like ABN and things like that. Like, I had all that kind of covered.
Yeah.
So anyway, that broke me a little bit, man. I'm not going to lie. And then I went back to, well, I was still working, so I went back to work, and, a year down the track, I'm like, oh, no, I can't just keep working. Got to figure something out. So I started looking on YouTube and e-commerce and things like this. Amazon popped up, but it was all American videos. So I was like, thought it was just an American thing. I didn't know it was translating to the Australian market.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to start looking for Amazon Australia videos. So that's when I kind of found your videos on Amazon Australia.
Yeah.
You were very relatable. Like, you weren't some guru promising the world, you know what I mean? Which is cool, and I kind of understand, like, after a while you can kind of pick who's offering something legit and who's kind of just wants the sales kind of thing. So yeah, I found your videos really informative. I watched nearly all your videos. You had like a very good one. I think it was a free hour-and-a-half video on basically how to start up an Amazon business.
Yeah.
And I watched that, and I'm like, man, I can like definitely have the skills to at least get it started. You know what I mean? After my last endeavor.
Yeah.
So that's when I found your course, and I purchased a course just before Christmas. I think when did I get it? Just before Christmas last year.
So,
maybe even a year earlier.
Because I'm pretty sure you had been in the program for a while.
Yeah, it was December 2023.
Yeah, yeah.
That's when I purchased it.
That was like before we'd moved everything to school and revamped it all. And then
I was actually in it before, just here when you only had the Facebook group. So yeah, I got it then. I started looking into it. Then I had just some life things go on.
Yeah.
Kind of fell out. I was really busy for about 6 months.
Yeah, yeah.
And I really started picking it up towards the end of last year.
Yes, yeah,
That's when I started picking it up, and I'm like, all right, let's go. I watched it all. I'm like, I had a bit of money. I'm like, I'm gonna do this. So yeah, man, that's how I found you, and that's how I found your course. I've always been striving to leave the 9 to 5 and at least have a side gig, and that's where I was, and up until I kind of found you guys, and yeah, always that thing like there's 1,000 people selling programs, and you always have that thought like, is this just a dude wanting my money? And or is he legit? But what got rid of that hesitancy for me is the fact that you had so much free content already on
Yep.
your page, and I looked through the course program, and I kind of established in my mind like this is what you need to get up and going. You know what I mean? This is from zero to now you're selling on Amazon, and that's the kind of part where didn't know much about, you know, and from once you're selling on Amazon, there's 1,000 different things you can learn, like advertising stuff. But I was a little bit hesitant that you were just another bloke trying to make a dollar. But
of course,
like after watching your videos and just checking you out Instagram and a lot of you had already reviews from a lot of people, so I was pretty confident that your course was legit, man.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you saying that as well.
No, all good. It's good. There's a lot of fake people out there, bro. You know, and
Yeah.
hard to pick, man.
Awesome, man.
I always have your program up, and I'm just always trickling back and forth. And now with the group, you're adding all this extra content. It's just amazing, man. You know, and it's really awesome. So what I value the most is, man, honestly, it's the product. It has to be the product research because you can have all the ideas in the world and you want to do this, but without knowing how to source the product, that was where I kind of was stuck. It's where everyone gets stuck, to be honest. You know, that first initial, like, okay, I want to sell on Amazon. Jesus, there's a lot of products to sell. How do I find this? So I found your explanation of helium. I jumped on helium 10 straight away.
Yeah.
And just I love the different options you had on how to sell on helium. How to find products on helium 10, and all the different options you had, man. So for me, because like I was pretty all over the trademarks and ABN, starting a business, that didn't really worry me. So for me, it was the finding a product that helped, the product research part that really helped me a lot. Initially. That was the initial thing. And once that was set up, it was just the whole setting up the Amazon thing. Because, with Amazon, if you don't tick this box, then that box isn't going to open kind of thing,
Yeah.
So they're the two parts. I found the whole course valuable, every single video. But the two parts was like the first part was the product research. And then the second part was just like setting up your listing kind of thing. Because, and with Amazon, like it changes. So the interface changes so often. So it's like, far out, man.
Yeah, they change a lot. And look, product research is probably the most daunting. It's the most annoying,
100%.
but it is the most important part. And
it is, man. And from your videos, now I can jump on Amazon. I can have my Helium 10 open, and I can just go boom, 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 boom. Like I'll just scan Amazon, and I'll see a product that I think I like, and just with the knowledge I learned from the course, I can just open Helium 10, have a quick 2-minute scan, and I know if it's viable already.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of like the longer you do it, the more you pick up that eye for products.
100%.
So you get to the point where it's like you don't have to just spend hours in Helium 10 or like a product research tool. You can just look at Amazon and scroll through, and you're like, hey, that actually looks good. You pull up like the Chrome extension, and then you're like, yeah, sweet. Like you just look at the numbers.
That's exactly what I do now, man. So like, for example, I'm in the travel accessories niche, so now I'll just scan the travel accessories niche, and when I find something good, that's when I'll pull up Helium. I'm like, oh, this looks all right, and then I'll check it against your product validation sheet, which I've always used that, and and if it matches up, I'll get a list, and I'm kind of you get to that narrowing down phase. So I feel good, man. I feel I'm very glad that I went that whole brand route instead of just finding like how. One of the first videos you say is like brand over everything. Yeah. And I was probably lucky that I've had a brand before, so it wasn't super daunting, like finding the logo and all that. Like that was kind of fun. Like it wasn't super daunting for me. Yeah. But I'm really glad that I went down that route because going down that route has opened up so much doors, in the being able to enroll your brand on Amazon and just have all these different advertising options and Amazon Vine, like review options and all this open up to you just because you have a brand has been really fantastic. I think with my mind, because I kind of like that fast-paced stuff, I think if I just launched one product and didn't go this brand route and it didn't turn out, that's when I'd be like, you know what, this isn't working. But now that I've got a brand route, I feel like I'm very happy that I've done this because even if I find a product that in the niche that I'm in, and I think, you know what, like it matches most of the boxes, but it's a little bit oversaturated.
Yep.
Because I have my own brand, I can brand that, and I'm kind of can add that to my brand as a secondary product. You know what I mean? By as upsells and things like this. So I feel like by having a brand, I can take in products that I normally wouldn't take in because they might be oversaturated, but because I can get those ads to my brand homepage and then they can see the secondary products, I feel like that is a massive, has opened up so much doors. It's a massive bonus being able to take in products that normally I wouldn't take in because it could be a bit oversaturated. The search volume is there, but it's a bit oversaturated. Because I can brand it and have it under my pocket, that's where I feel like having a brand has definitely opened up a lot of doors to me. And that's, as soon as I've seen your brand over everything video, that was what I decided. I've been selling on for about 6 weeks now on Amazon. Yep. First month was really good. First month I had a little bit of a target to get 30, kind of like a sale a day kind of thing. That was my kind of target.
Yeah.
Wasn't too focused on the money because I'm not using any of this money for my own, like it's just getting redistributed into the business.
Yeah, growing the business. Yeah.
So yeah, my first month I hit 35 sales and it was a little bit over 1,000 Australian dollars. And I was, really pleased with that, man. Like,
yeah. And
like it's more sales than I had in my previous business. And in 1 month to get 35 units, I think 35 sales, it kind of shows that a bit of product validity.
Yeah,
you know what
sure.
I mean? And it's really good to see that from just using the techniques and everything from the course, how that's branched out to give me those sales, So I'm really pleased with that, man.
And a lot of the time, because a lot of sellers think, or a lot of people that want to launch a business, they think, oh, look, I'm not going to see profit for at least 5 or 6 months. You profited in your first month, right?
Yeah. So I got about nearly $550 profit my first month. Yeah. That's like after the advertising fees, after Amazon's fees and shipping fees, after everything, I profited nearly 550, which is probably close to about 45-50%, man. So
that's great.
Yeah,
that's
really
awesome.
Good. I was really happy with that, and I didn't expect to see profit. But I actually didn't really expect to see any momentum for the first couple months until I kind of get the hang of everything. But to have that out of the gate, and look, to be honest, my product's not a showstopper. It's not like going to change the world. It's a good product. It's a cool product. I'd buy it, but like it's not like one of those, oh, you just caught the next trend kind of thing. Like, you know what I mean? So to have that volume and profit and sales in the first month for a decent product, but not a showstopper is really cool, And what my plan kind of is to get a few products that are in that similar, like they're not showstoppers, but they're going to turn over.
Yeah.
And then after I've got some comfortable momentum going, then kind of look for that boom, that banger in my category, when I've got some more capital to spend and things like that.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up as well, because a lot of people think that when they find their first product, it's got to be like either a real huge trendsetter, it's got to be like they've got to reinvent the wheel, and you really don't. All you got to do is you just find, all you did was you found what was working, right? You just obviously made sure that your brand was present, right? So obviously you set up the brand and whatnot, but you just improved on the product slightly, right?
100%.
And you just brought it to the market. Like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just use what's working already, and that's how you kind of are going to get to that point where you're going to make consistent sales, because the product's already selling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you don't have to sort of invent something new. You just go 100%. On what's working, which is good. You've sort of gone that route where you've made your brand more prevalent on Amazon, but you've simplified it. You haven't made it too complicated. You just did what was working, and you improved on it a little bit, which is perfect.
Well, 100%. One thing you went on about a lot is high quality.
Yeah.
So when I got samples, I got about so what I've done is for my product, I had about samples from about 3 different manufacturers from Alibaba. And yeah, man, I really, really focused on high quality. I even had one of the manufacturers customize my product a bit just to make it that little bit better, because I think it could have helped a bit better. So I went with a really high quality product. And when I say high quality, I don't mean like the most expensive one. I got it, I felt it, I worn it, I tried it out, and I was happy with the quality of that product. And I think it's probably one of the better quality-wise. I think it's one of the best in my niche. And that's one thing I will focus on from now on is getting multiple samples, although the sample fees are a bit of a pain in the bum.
Yeah, they can
because they always charge higher for a sample fee. I live in a bit of a remote area, so the shipping's
It's
always
worse.
bloody twice as much.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't have a problem with it because I want a high quality product, and I haven't had one bad review, even from Amazon itself. And I've gave a few to some friends and relatives, and
Yeah.
you know they all think it's a high quality and think I'm actually valuing it in the price.
Oh, for
So
sure.
that's one thing I focused on in high quality. I found the product, I put my logo on it. I checked if there was any customization needed. I did get one thing customized, like you said in your course, and yeah, man, I pretty much just followed that whole find the product, make it high quality, and let's customize it to make it better than the other products if needed.
Yeah.
And run with that. That's kind of the mindset I'm going with this product and with future products too.
Yeah. And I can tell as well because you've laid out the groundwork really well for the business. Like even just for your first product, you can tell that you've taken that time to just make sure it's good quality.
Yeah.
You know, and even like your listing and details on your product listing look really good, and you can tell that you've put in the time to do that.
Yeah.
Long term, man, that's what the game changer is. It's just
that's what I'm
laying
shooting for.
out the
I'm shooting for
groundwork.
long term.
Yeah, man. So
because
that's awesome.
Establishing the brand. It's like you know, setting a real good base for the brand. I'm not super focused on like the sales of this product now. You know what I mean? I've established a nice brand like you suggested in your course. You know, I have a social media. It's nothing crazy. You know, I post maybe once or twice a week. But the main reason I have that social media and the brand awareness is so everything links together. So when someone might jump on Amazon and see my brand, like, who are these guys? So they'll jump on Google and type in my brand. Oh, they've got a social media. You know, they've got a Facebook, they've got an Instagram. Everything kind of intertwines. I've made a really basic Shopify website.
Yeah,
not really to sell on, more just to have that brand awareness.
Yeah.
And my goal is once I have 3-4 products, then maybe drive some sales to Shopify. But for now, man, I've just like done what you've said. I've established a nice brand. Everything's legit. Got my trademark, got the logo, everything's good to go. And I've got my first product, my flagship product. And from here, that's when I can build my products and the brand awareness covers all that, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome, man. It's good to see you. Like, I love seeing your progress so far as well.
Thanks, brother.
You know, from where you joined, you know, a year or two ago to now launching your first product. Yeah, I think you've done pretty well for launching your first product, man. So, yeah.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Honestly, look, especially the past few months since you've opened school and all the ongoing updates to the program itself through that school and all the extra value added. Like I don't really want to get into detail. For example, the arbitrage course you just launched, all this extra value. I would tell them just to honestly to have a go. If this is what you want to do, if you want to try beat the 9 to 5 or just try get a bit of extra income, or just, you know, for yourself, it's just to have a go, try to do something. I'd highly suggest the course. I think the outlay of the course itself is exactly what you need to go from not knowing anything to having a product listed on Amazon. Everything in between that is covered. And I feel like from there, you've got the school, which is the program, which is the community. Anything else you need from there can be either sourced or asked through yourself and through the community. And look, a lot of times I'm like, I've got a question. I jump on the community and it's already been answered, you know, through some of the other channels, or, you know, you posted an update on the course. Like I think you just posted 3 or 4 extra units or extra videos to the course. I'm like, man, this is beautiful. It's so good to have them constant updates. And like we said earlier, Amazon's interface is changing constantly.
Yeah.
So like, for example, your initial course video, I'm like, oh, it's so different, I can't get it. And then I jump on school and you've already posted an update for the new interface, which is great, you know? And all the extra added value, like the community members, yourself, Athar's helped me great. He's a good person.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Great help to the community. And just everyone getting involved and, you know, dropping comments and you know, golden nuggets and everything. It's really cool. So I'd highly suggest, if this is what you want to do, if you want to have a crack at it, I think the course is worth its weight in gold. And the community is you know, is even better, because you can buy all the courses under the world, but eventually the course is going to end, and you want further guidance. Like just because you finish the course, you're not all of a sudden like a e-com superstar. It's good to have this continued guidance and mentors such as yourself and Athar and other community members who are at various levels. You know, some guys I can help out. You know,
Yeah.
For a few months ago I was like, oh man, what am I doing? And then now it's like, oh, I can help this person. You know, I can just recommend some things that I've been through. So it's good to and then there's people above me who can help me. So it's good to have that different level of community members, and you can share knowledge and help each other out. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with what you said. Like you can have, look, like videos and a program, you can have the best content in the world, right? But if you don't have help, if you don't have support and other people there to actually guide you through, there's always going to be a point where it doesn't matter how good the content is, that you're going to hit a wall or you're going to hit a road bump, and you need someone to go to, right?
100%.
And it does help to have people that, like you said, they might be not as far as you are, or they might be way ahead of you, right? And then once you get to that point, you can just go and ask them for help, and it's just so much easier to make progress when you're moving, when you've got people that are moving in the same direction.
Right? 100%, man. 100%.
So yeah, totally agree with you, man. But
cool, bro. It's cool, man. It's cool. It's cool what you're doing, man. And just adding all this extra value, like the arbitrage and things like this. Like you could probably sell that as a standalone course, but you've, out of your generosity, you've included it into the course that's already available for people who have purchased, and even that in itself is a good business model. So just all the extra value, man. All the extra value added in this community is really cool. And plus the weekly video sessions. I can't make a lot of them, but I do rewatch a lot of them.
Yeah.
And just the little brain picking that I get from that's really cool. So yeah, man, you've done really well. You should be proud of yourself, dude.
Thank you, bro. And you should be proud of yourself as well for actually. You don't realize how important it is to take the first step, even before you join the program. But when you launch that business yourself, that's a big step, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people, if they were to lose money on that, a lot of people wouldn't have done it again, right? They would have just been too scared. So
I was close, man. I was close.
Yeah.
It took me a year.
It's a
I knew
scary
I wanted
thing.
to do it. I had to build up that momentum again. You know?
It's a scary thing, man. And I've been in similar situations where I've gone into something or invested, right? Whether it was training or just something else, another business, and I've lost money on it. But then you think, well, at the very least, it's pointing you in the direction that you're meant to be going, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So,
and it does harden you up a little bit, you know, like you lose on a deal or an investment or a business and doesn't turn out. I mean, you can either go cry in the corner, or you can learn from it. You can pick the good things out of it.
Yeah. And
I think the second and the third time you do it, you notice in yourself you've got this level of like hardening. You know what I mean? Nothing, it doesn't hurt you as much. You know what I mean? Things don't hurt you as much, and you can take things and you understand. Your mind moves around. And you understand like can't all be like glory. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah.
Cool,
Well,
bro.
look, I appreciate you jumping on, Michael, and
good,
and
man.
answering these questions. And like I said, it's great. It's great having you in the program too, because you're a very big motivator for a lot of other sellers as well, especially people just starting. So it's good to have you in there.
Yeah, like I said, that first, I think there's a few little borders. I think the first one is finding your product. Once you found the product, this is what I'd like to tell the guys who are on that stage. I think once you find the product and you've locked it in and you're like, yep, I'm doing it, it's like a big hurdle. And then it really takes a whole layer of anxiety off, and then you kind of get into it and it becomes more real, and then you start to gain this momentum. So look for that momentum, I'd suggest, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.